Welcome to the Final Whistle Podcast Hour. My name is Henry Huseman. Enjoy.
My name's Matt Fasella.
Hi, my name is Grant Crawford, and thank you for listening to Final Whistle Podcast.
Welcome to the Final Whistle Podcast Hour, where we cover the hottest topics and give the public the sports coverage they deserve. As always, I am joined by the number one pickleball player in Southwest Florida and the reigning champion of the sad town of Foxborough, Massachusetts. He is a threat on the court, but don't be deceived by his short stature. He is Mr. Money Matt himself. Please welcome Matt Fasella.
How's it going, folks?
Hello, Matt. We are also in the presence today of the Southern Charmer, the Court Hogger, and the only big man with a 75% three-point percentage. He is the big man in the room, Mr. G Money Big Dog Crawford.
What is up, guys?
Mr. Grant Crawford. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
I thank everyone for tuning in, wherever you may be, whatever time it is. We have new episodes every Friday at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're also going to try a new segment called the Question of the Week. The question this week is, how many dimples does a golf ball have? What do you guys think?
I've never really counted. As an avid golfer, I haven't even thought of it, but I'd say somewhere in the hundreds, maybe 200, but that would be a lot of effort for the machines to put in all those dimples. So.
Grant?
Who knows?
I'm going to say there's 196 dimples on every single golf ball.
I will let you guys know next week on episode 3 of the Final Whistle, and whoever gets the closest answer, I'll do something nice for you.
Oh, building up
Can
the
I have
anticipation.
$5 for the winner. How about that?
Sounds great.
All right, Matt, this question is for you. The red wave is coming to America.
So true.
But is the red wave more of a ripple right now for Alabama fans?
Ooh.
Yeah, so to touch on the red wave, I think we're going to see, tonight, this is Tuesday, we're going to see something to the likes of which the American people have never seen before. We're going to see a massive red wave. They're going to sweep the House. They're going to sweep the Senate. Trump's going to announce he's running for president next week. It's just going to be a great time to be an American, and the American people won't stand for this. And about Alabama, yeah, they're definitely in trouble. Although it's been a tough year for the SEC due to them having to play Tennessee and LSU on the road. It's been tough for Alabama because every week's a hard game, but they've shown they're not the best team this year, so they're in trouble.
For some context, this past weekend, LSU beat Alabama in Death Valley, and Matt was actually there to witness the destruction of the Crimson Tide. How do Alabama fans feel right now?
Oh, they're pissed. They were pretty cocky going into the game. On the airplane, they were talking a lot of trash. Even some of them went into the student section and was chirping us. I, by the way, got to sit in the student section, so that was fun. And, yeah, they were nowhere to be found on the plane ride back. I think they took off their shirt. But being in that atmosphere at Death Valley was wild. Beer bottles were flying all over the student section. People were singing. We stormed the field. Just the game of the year, and I don't even think you can argue about that.
I'm going to have to agree with that. It was a very good game. I didn't expect Alabama to lose, but obviously they did. That two-point conversion at the end of the game was crazy. I think we might be seeing the end of the dynasty that is Nick Saban.
Yeah, he's definitely towards the end of his career. I think Jaden Daniels and LSU is something to look out for because Jaden Daniels has clearly gotten better by the week. And on top of that, LSU's whole offensive line will be back next year, and Jaden Daniels will be back next year. So I think LSU will definitely be the top dogs in the SEC East.
West.
And
having Brian Kelly as a coach is definitely something that's good.
Oh, he'll be able to recruit the people from up north because he's actually a native of Massachusetts, and he's been living in the Indiana area for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
So he'll have a strong recruiting presence up there.
Kind of running with that topic, as of right now, what do you guys think the SEC championship's going to look like?
I think it's going to be Georgia versus LSU, no doubt. Georgia's not going to lose another game the rest of the regular season. And I think LSU, they have the tiebreaker right now, and they have a fairly easy schedule, so I think they're going to run with it.
I think I could see a Georgia and Ole Miss SEC championship game.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
Has Ole Miss played Alabama yet?
They have not.
So that would be interesting.
So if they beat Alabama, it's going to end up coming down to the last few games of the year because LSU has beat Ole Miss.
They have. So LSU would win the tiebreaker. Therefore, I just don't see Ole Miss, first of all, beating Alabama, and second of all, winning more games than LSU the rest of the season because Alabama's going to be pissed off after that game.
Yeah,
They
true.
played a guy with the balls to go for 2 to win the game.
Yep.
That is incredible. So they're not happy.
Makes you question why we didn't see it more at Notre Dame.
Yeah, seriously. Well, because they played garbage teams.
So true.
They played Brigham Young while Alabama was playing University of Florida, University of Tennessee, Georgia,
LSU.
Yeah. Exactly.
Grant, I got a question for you. After the games this past weekend, what does the top 5 look like right now?
I think Georgia's going to assume that number 1 spot again. I think Ohio State's going to sneak up into that number, or they're going to stay at 2. Number 3, I could honestly see TCU or Oregon taking that spot. Then I could see LSU coming in and taking the 5th spot. But 4 is going to be a toss-up between Oregon and TCU, in my opinion, because we saw Alabama and Clemson lose this weekend.
Can you list them out for me one more time?
Number 1, Georgia. 2, Ohio State. 3, TCU. 4, Oregon. 5, LSU.
So you don't have Tennessee in the top 5?
I think they will drop to 6.
Question: what makes Oregon a higher ranked team than Michigan? Because Oregon got blown out to Georgia week 1, and Michigan's really done nothing wrong. They've pretty much won every game by a decent amount.
They've just played some very bad defense, and I think Oregon might move up into that spot.
Bo Nix and their offense is looking good.
Indeed.
I think they're better than Michigan, but I just don't know if the college football playoff rankings are going to put them better because they just haven't been better this season.
What are your top 5, Matt?
My top 5 right now, Georgia's number 1. They'll be there the rest of the season. I don't care if they lose every game the rest of the year. They're the best team in the country. They're going to probably win it all. Number 2, I think, would have to be Ohio State just because of their receiving core. Number 3, for sure, would be Michigan just because they've done their job. You know, as a team who is in the college football playoff last year, they established themselves, had a lot of returners, and are 9-0 right now, so no reason not to have them at number 3. For number 4, I'd say, as much as it kills me, TCU, only because they're undefeated. But TCU's a fake team. I don't even think they'll win the Big 12 championship. And then for number 5, I'd probably say Tennessee because they've looked so dominant, and they have an easy schedule going forward, so I think they'll be at number 5.
So you say TCU's not going to win the Big 12 championship. Who would?
No, I think the winner of the Big 12 championship is going to be, I don't know, it's a tough one because there's so many teams that have dropped out of the rankings, but I think Texas has a chance of winning.
I don't see Texas beating TCU.
Texas plays TCU this week, right?
They do, yeah.
They're 7-point favorites, so I'd say Vegas sees them beating TCU, and they're at home, so I think Texas will not only beat TCU this week, but they'll beat them again in the Big 12 championship.
I don't see TCU dropping a game this year.
They've been close to losing so many games, though. And Texas is 6-1 with Quentin Ewers, so. And they have Robinson. They have the best running back in the country, in Bijan Robinson.
I'll let you have your opinion, and I can have mine.
All right, your opinion's completely false, but we'll see in a few weeks.
We do have a big matchup this upcoming weekend on November 12th, 3:30. Alabama is going to Ole Miss to play 10 versus 11. What do you guys think about that game?
Oh, Alabama's going to steamroll them. I think Alabama's going to win by over 20 points. Ole Miss won't get one stop on defense the whole game just because this is a pissed-off Alabama team. They thought that they were the better team coming into this LSU game, and they were shocked, like I said earlier, when Brian Kelly went for 2, and they converted. The refs were in their favor the whole game, and they still couldn't win. But I know Nick Saban coming off a loss is a different breed, so Nick Saban's going to have them ready. They're going to be pissed off, and I just don't think Ole Miss is going to be able to hang with them.
Grant, I got another question for you. We're going to move on to NFL.
Go ahead.
Jeff Saturday was elected interim head coach for the Colts. Was this a good move by the Colts?
I do think it was. The Colts have obviously struggled for the last couple of years, and bringing in Matt Ryan, everybody thought it was going to change because they have a very talented offense and a very talented defense. And to see them only win, 2 games and tie 1, I don't think that's what anybody expected, especially having Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor, all these guys. There's no reason they should be this bad. So I think Damon Jeff Saturday, a guy that is obviously a Hall of Famer, but obviously one of the best players in Colts history, I think that's going to be a smart move for them.
What do you think, Matt?
I think they should have never gotten rid of Rodrigo Blankenship. Ever since they got rid of him, it's just gone downhill. But in all seriousness, yeah, I watched the Colts and Patriots game on Sunday, and that was just not a good Colts team. The Patriots scored one offensive touchdown and still won 26-3, which speaks to the place that they had them in their special teams. They got 2 kicks blocked, 3 interceptions. It's just a disaster right now in Indianapolis. And this is a team that was favored to do better than the Titans going into the season. And the Titans have made the playoffs the last 3-4 years. So it's been a disappointment, and they need a change. And the Jeff Saturday was a great hire because you see him all over ESPN. ESPN sucks, of course, but he seems like a decently smart guy, and he's always covering football. So clearly he's been around the game his whole career. He played the game. He can relate to the players. Good hire. I think he'll be a good interim coach.
So after seeing some upsets this week in the NFL, who do you have as your number 1 team right now?
The Bills lost, but I just think Josh Allen is so good.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be actually my number 2 team. The Eagles have been undefeated this year. So they've really done nothing wrong to not be the number 1 team.
Mm-hmm. With that Bills loss, I'm going to have to drop them down to probably 3 now, with the Eagles and the Chiefs reassuming those top 2 spots. I just don't see Patrick Mahomes losing anymore this year.
The rest of the year?
Yeah.
The Chiefs are going to win out
I can see it.
and win the Super Bowl?
No, I'm not sure about the playoffs. I think if Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes play in the playoffs, it's going to be a different story.
Oh, yeah, especially
regular
after
season, how weak the AFC West is, I don't see the Raiders, Chargers, or Broncos beating them once.
That's a good point. And the Chiefs have established themselves. They won the division, 8 years in a row?
7 going on 8, yes, sir.
That's almost unprecedented other than the Patriots.
As a fellow Tennessean, I was impressed by them keeping up with the Chiefs. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, especially with Willis as their quarterback.
He
the guy
was
can't
horrible.
throw the football.
Oh, he was
can't
bad,
throw it
but
more than 10 yards.
defense was good.
Yeah.
And then Derrick Henry, of course.
I mean, he's going to rush for 100 yards every game the rest of the season.
Not against the Broncos.
I mean, he's proven me wrong before. The guy's literally not human. He tore his ACL last year, and he's still running through defenders, running for 150 yards per game. The guy is not human.
But he gets very tired in the second half, and that Broncos defense is definitely something to be reckoned with when it comes to run defense.
Yeah, but luckily against the Broncos in the second half, it's going to be like 7-0. So it's going to be a close game no matter what.
Yeah.
Because they have no offense.
Matt and Grant, I got a question for you.
Go ahead, sir.
The Trash Joes won the World Series.
Is their trophy validated after the cheating scandal?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Anything
of course.
they have accomplished is not valid.
No, it's definitely valid. They're the best team in the league. They showed it all year.
But
Justin
that
Verlander won the Cy Young. They have the best offense. Jordan Alvarez, Jose Altuve. They're all experienced, and they have a rookie who won World Series MVP. So they're in good shape, I'd say. And the Phillies aren't the best team in the league, not even close. So the best team won.
But that Astros team from 2017, a lot of players are still on the Astros from that team.
That's 2017. This is 2022.
Cheater's always going to cheat, brother.
They didn't get caught this year. They didn't do anything against the rules this year.
That's it. We don't.
All
know
they did was win 100 games, dominate the postseason, and win the World Series. So
after getting caught cheating in the World Series, you're not valid. I'm sorry. You cannot validate the World Series after that.
they won 4 games fair and square.
You can say they won 4 games, but was it four games fair and square? No.
Yeah, of course it
They're
was.
not valid.
The Phillies couldn't even get a hit in the World Series. They literally got no hit in Game 4. It looked like they were going to win, but
We're not talking about that, or they're just not valid. Next topic, please.
All right. Oh, this next question is funny. It's not really related, but it's just kind of.
Oh, let's hear it.
This is ready, Matt or Grant?
Yep.
All right. Oh crap! I wrote it down wrong. Hold on. All right, 3, 2, 1. Matt and Grant.
Is Logan Paul a good fit for the WWE?
I do believe he is a good fit for the WWE. He brings a lot of energy. He just beat the Tribal Chief. Nobody does that. Nobody goes in and beats Roman Reigns. Logan Paul tore his ACL for this match. Of course he belongs. He's funny. He's active. and he fits the role.
That pissed me off when he beat Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns was like my hero growing up. It was to the point where my dad didn't want me to watch WWE anymore because I bought too many Roman Reigns shirts, and he didn't want me to be a 30-year-old guy going to these WWE events with like the wrestling tights and the shirt. So that's how much I loved Roman Reigns growing up, and I used to follow it a lot. But
It sounded like you had a man crush on Roman Reigns.
oh, of course, like I'm not even gonna deny it. I had a man crush on Roman Reigns, and I've been following it not too much, but I noticed he was world champion for a while, and now I guess he's not.
Logan Paul went in and kicked butt.
I don't like that, though, because Roman Reigns was, like, champion for 3 years, and then they're just going to install someone and have him take over the championship.
It was
Doesn't
either
make
him or
sense.
Pat McAfee.
What happened?
It's either him or Pat McAfee that was going to beat Roman Reigns.
That's true.
I
Pat
don't know.
McAfee would be a great fit.
He'd rather be on game day.
Oh, I love him on game day. Did you see he went off script last week?
Scoot up too closer to the mic.
Did you see
Let's
he
not
went
go
off
off
script?
topic.
What?
I don't know.
Did you see McAfee went off script last week?
Oh yeah, I
On
watched
game
the whole
day?
thing.
I stopped recording. Next topic.
All right, college basketball.
All right. Whenever you're good.
Grant, I want you to give me a college basketball update. Like I don't know what's going on in college basketball. Tell me what's happening.
Well, there was first day, a lot of good games.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was. So we had some. Didn't really see a lot of ranked games yesterday, but we saw a lot of good games. Shout out to us. Florida Gulf Coast beat USC 74-61. West Virginia came in and kicked butt against their opponent. They covered the spread. That's all that matters.
It's true. My senior yearbook quote, literally. Doesn't matter who wins or loses as long as they cover the spread.
It's looking like it's going to be a good year for basketball, especially for us Florida Gulf Coast Universityans.
Yeah, that was a good game. In the first half, they got off to a rough start, down 11, but it was incredible how new coach Patrick Chambers was able to rally the team together, stay in it for the first half, and then get off to a 31-12 run in the second half against USC out of all teams.
For sure.
USC is constantly a Sweet 16 Elite 8 team, and they had to go to Southern California to play them, and they still came out with a win.
I'm definitely going to say Big 12 will reign on top of basketball this year, as they always do. It's going to be a very good year. Alabama came off looking strong in their first game, and I think the SEC could really compete again, so we're in for a good year.
Tennessee is going to be good, too. In
Tennessee
Ken
will
Palm's
be good.
rankings, they're number 4, so they're a pretty deep team.
Yep.
But back to the Big 12, yeah, Baylor's going to be good as always. They had a good transfer class come in. Kansas had 3 5-star recruits, which is unprecedented, and they looked strong. I know they only played Omaha, but they looked strong in their first game, winning by 25. So that was good to see. They could repeat, but I also think the ACC is going to be good.
Okay.
North Carolina, they made that miracle run to the finals last year, and they have their whole starting 5 coming back, including Armando Bacot, who is contender for National Player of the Year last year. And then not only that, but like you said, when it comes to the SEC, Kentucky's returning their best player too.
Oscar Tshiebwe,
Yeah.
big old West Virginia transfer. Sad to see him go, but I'm glad that he's doing good.
Oh, that guy's a walking double-double.
Oh,
He
for
looked
sure.
good yesterday.
He did.
And they're number 1. John Calipari always has them ready and at the beginning of the season, but last year in March Madness they choked, so we'll see if they can finish. Do you know what it reminds me of?
Go ahead.
Remember that Virginia team a few years ago? Who they were the number 1 seed and they lost in the first round?
Yeah.
But then they had Kyle Guy, Ty Jerome, all those players come back in the next year and they won the national championship. That wouldn't shock me if Kentucky did the same thing.
Who are your early dark horses for college basketball right now?
I like Arkansas. I don't
Okay.
think they're going to win it all or anything, but they had a good transfer class coming in. And on top of that, they have tournament experience. They beat Gonzaga in the Sweet 16 last year, made it to the Elite 8, had all their players coming back, and improved on their transfer class.
I could see I could see a Florida team being very good. University of Florida. I think they're deep. They can shoot. They can play defense. They can pass the ball. I think they could definitely make a deep run at the tournament this year.
And they can rebound. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
watching, so obviously as a BC basketball season ticket holder, I saw CJ Felder play, and that kid's an athlete, and he can rebound. So University of Florida is going to be good. But it sucks that they lost some of their best players. They lost 2 bigs, Colin Castleton, and I forget the guy's name, but that tall lefty guy. But
Yeah.
Colin Castleton's going to be a big loss because he led the SEC in rebounds.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a very interesting season coming towards this.
Who is this calling?
Yes, this is Brant.
Hey, Brant. What do you think what's going on in Tennessee?
Tennessee's just got to put on its big boy orange breeches and play some football now. They got beat up by some Bulldogs, and now they need to really play like they know how to play and win out the rest of the season and see how it shakes out.
Well, you got anything else to say, Mr. Huisman?
No, I think that's about it. I look forward to them beating up on Missouri and South Carolina and Vanderbilt. So those should be 3 easy wins for them and hopefully get back in the top 4 the college football playoffs.
Man, I think this guy needs to go back to Rocky Top, that hillbilly.
Are you live from Rocky Top or Naples? You sound like a Tennessean.
Rocky Top in Naples.
At the same time?
At the final whistle, we like to do a call-in segment. Today, I'm going to be calling some of my friends from Tennessee to see what they think about the Vols. All right, we have a caller into the Final Whistle podcast at the Final Whistle on Twitter. Who is this calling?
This is Hunter Reed.
Hunter, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Can't complain. Beautiful night out here in East Tennessee.
East Tennessee. I spent some time up there on vacation. How about them Volunteers?
Man, I am really excited about this year. You know, Georgia, that was a rough game, but, you know, being 8-1, I'm 21 years old. I haven't seen them this good ever. So this is just really encouraging to see, and they're just fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best season since '98. It seems like.
Oh yeah, and heck, that was the last time they tore down the goalposts.
Oh, is that right?
Beating Alabama this year. That's the first time they tore down the goalposts since they beat Florida in 1998.
Well, Hunter, I hope you have a great night. I appreciate you calling in. You can call us back anytime, and I hope East Tennessee treats you right.
Hey, absolutely. Happy to call in. Go Vols.
Who was this?
This is Dallas Kilo.
Why are you calling today?
I'm here to talk about Arkansas basketball.
What do you think about Arkansas basketball this year?
Woo, pig suey.
You think they could go deep with that Woo Pig Suey?
I gotta start laughing.
Well, Mr. Dallas, I appreciate your time here, sir.
Thank you very much, man.
Woo Pig Suey! Well, unfortunately, this is the end of our podcast today. I appreciate you guys listening. I'm Grant Crawford.
I'm Henry Huisman.
And I'm Matt Fasella.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.